It was a hot afternoon deep in the African savanna when one of the strangest and most frightening wildlife incidents ever recorded took place. A young female cheetah, resting quietly under the shade of a lonely acacia tree, suddenly found herself surrounded by an unimaginable number of mice, millions of them, moving like a dark living wave over the dry grass. What started as a calm day quickly turned into a desperate struggle for survival as the smallest creatures of the wild turned against one of its fastest and most elegant predators. The cheetah, later identified by local trackers as Suri, had been seen limping earlier that morning after an unsuccessful chase. A minor injury on her back leg had forced her to stop hunting and take refuge near an abandoned burrow area. That same area, unfortunately, had become home to thousands upon thousands of field mice driven from their usual feeding grounds by an ongoing drought. The lack of food and water had made them unusually aggressive and desperate. The scent of Zuri's blood drew them in, and before long, she was surrounded by a sea of tiny, twitching bodies. At first, Zuri tried to ignore them, swishing her tail to show them away. But as more mice approached, climbing over her paws and nibbling at her fur, she stood up in alarm. Her growls echoed through the empty plain, but the mice did not scatter. Instead, they kept coming, forming dense clusters around her legs and tail. Within moments, Zuri was overwhelmed. The ground seemed to move beneath her as the mice swarmed over her wounded leg, biting and scratching in a frenzy. She tried to run, but her injured leg buckled beneath her. The fastest animal on land was now powerless against a tide of tiny teeth and claws. Nearby villagers heard her distressed cries and immediately contacted the local conservation outpost. Within minutes, the Wildlife Salungguhit Art Rescue Team was mobilized. Known for their rapid response and expertise in dangerous wildlife operations, the team consisted of veterinarians, animal behaviorists, and trained rescuers. They rushed to the site in two armored jeeps equipped with nets, tranquilizer rifles, and portable sound devices designed to drive away small animals. When the team arrived, the scene was unlike anything they had witnessed before. The ground was alive, millions of mice moving in every direction, crawling over rocks, grass, and even the rescue vehicle's tires. The team's leader, Dr. Marcus Hale, later described the sight as something straight out of a horror movie. He said that the noise of countless tiny squeaks mixed with Zuri's growls created a sound that chilled everyone to the bone. The team had to act fast, or the cheetah would not survive another 10 minutes. Dr. Hale quickly ordered his team to deploy sonic repellents. These devices emitted high-frequency sounds that are harmless to larger animals but extremely uncomfortable for rodents. As the shrill noise filled the air, thousands of mice scattered, but many remained, determined and relentless. The rescuers moved forward in a tight formation, covering each other as they approached Zuri. They waved large nets to clear a path, while others sprayed non-toxic deterrent smoke around the area to push the rodents back. The ground became clearer as they got closer, revealing Zuri lying on her side, panting heavily, her body twitching with pain. Two rescuers, wearing thick protective suits, knelt beside the cheetah. One gently placed a cloth over her head to calm her while the other checked her pulse and breathing. Her heartbeat was fast but strong. Using a tranquilizer dart, they sedated her enough to keep her still while treatment began. The rescuers worked with precision, despite the chaos around them. They carefully lifted her onto a stretcher and carried her toward the rescue vehicle while others formed a protective ring, ensuring no mice got close again. Inside the mobile veterinary truck, the team immediately started treating her wounds. They found dozens of small bite marks along her legs, belly, and tail. The bites were shallow but numerous, and the risk of infection was high. They cleaned each wound with antiseptic solution and applied antibiotics to prevent bacterial contamination. Zuri's breathing slowly steadied as the tranquilizer took full effect. The rescuers sighed in relief, knowing they had arrived just in time. Outside, the mice had begun to retreat as the sonic repellents continued to hum. The once chaotic field slowly grew silent, with only the soft sound of wind blowing through the dry grass. The rescue team stayed for another hour to monitor the situation and ensure the area was safe before transporting Zuri to the Wildlife Salungguhit Art Rehabilitation Center, located 50 kilometers away. At the rehabilitation center, Zuri received round-the-clock care from a team of veterinarians. Over the next few days, her condition improved steadily. She regained her appetite, began walking again, and even showed signs of her natural alertness returning. The rescue team members visited her daily, observing her recovery with pride. The story of her survival spread quickly through local news and then across social media platforms worldwide. People were amazed not only by the bizarre nature of the attack but also by the courage and quick thinking of the Wildlife Salungguhit Art Rescue Team. Experts soon began to analyze what could have triggered such an unusual event. Ecologists explained that in times of severe drought, rodent populations can grow erratic due to starvation and dehydration. When natural food sources like seeds and insects become scarce, mice sometimes display swarm behavior, attacking anything that smells like food or moisture, including injured animals. This was likely what caused the strange mass attack on Zuri. Scientists warned that such incidents could become more common as climate change continues to disrupt ecosystems, forcing wild species into desperate behavior. Meanwhile, the Wildlife Salungguhit Art Organization used the incident to raise awareness about wildlife conservation and the growing challenges faced by animals due to habitat loss and environmental change. They launched an educational campaign encouraging local communities to report any unusual animal behavior and to protect both predators and prey from harm. The viral video of the rescue, showing brave rescuers surrounded by a sea of mice while carrying the cheetah to safety, inspired millions around the world. 2 weeks after her rescue, Zuri was finally strong enough to be released back into the wild. The team fitted her with a lightweight GPS collar to track her movements and ensure her continued well-being. On the morning of her release, the rescuers gathered quietly as the trap door opened. Zuri stepped out, sniffed the air, and looked around. For a brief moment, she turned her head toward the team, as if recognizing the people who had saved her, before sprinting gracefully into the open plains. Watching her disappear into the golden horizon, the rescuers knew their mission had been worth every risk. Dr. Hale later shared that the incident had deeply affected his team. He said, "In the wild, we expect lions to fight hyenas, or crocodiles to attack zebras, but never in my career did I think I'd see millions of mice nearly bring down a cheetah." It reminds us that nature is full of surprises, and that every creature, no matter how small, has the power to change the balance. The story of Zuri's survival became a powerful symbol of hope and unity in conservation. It showed how determination and compassion can overcome even the most bizarre challenges. The rescue also emphasized the importance of rapid response wildlife teams who risk their lives daily to protect endangered species from both natural and human-made dangers. As weeks passed, Zuri's GPS collar showed her roaming confidently through her territory once again, hunting successfully and thriving in her natural habitat. The team occasionally monitored her from a distance, ensuring she remained healthy. To this day, the spot where she was rescued has become a study area for wildlife researchers investigating abnormal rodent behavior. The strange attack that once seemed like a random tragedy is now helping scientists understand deeper ecological connections between predators, prey, and their changing environments. In the end, the incredible rescue of Zuri serves as a reminder that even in moments of chaos and fear, courage and humanity can shine through. The Wildlife Salungguhit Art Rescue Team not only saved one cheetah but also shed light on how fragile the balance of nature truly is. Every animal, from the smallest mouse to the fastest cheetah, plays a vital role in the complex web of life. And sometimes, it takes an extraordinary event like this to remind the world how much that balance depends on our willingness to protect it.